Why did my uncle cut my entire family out of his life after Thanksgiving dinner? My parents had been hiding the fact that my brother was secretly dating my uncle's daughter for 2 years. They found out months ago and forbade him from seeing her, threatening to kick him out if he didn't break up with her immediately. My step-cousin Camilla had been crying to her dad about how my brother suddenly ghosted her after 2 amazing years together. My uncle spent weeks trying to figure out what his perfect nephew could have done to hurt his daughter so badly. He kept asking us if we knew anything, genuinely worried something terrible had happened to cause this sudden change in behavior. At Thanksgiving dinner, my uncle brought up how worried he was about Camilla's severe depression, said she'd been heartbroken and barely eating ever since my brother stopped talking to her for absolutely no reason. He was considering getting her professional therapy because she blamed herself for everything that went wrong between them. My parents just nodded along sympathetically, acting deeply concerned about poor Camilla's mental health and well-being. My mom even suggested maybe Camilla should find someone better suited for her personality, and that young heartbreak builds character in the long run for everyone involved in these situations. That's when I couldn't take it anymore. The guilt was eating me alive, watching my uncle's genuine pain and concern for his daughter. I told him the brutal truth, that my parents had discovered the relationship and forced my brother to choose between his girlfriend and his housing situation. And he chose housing because he had nowhere else to go at the time. My parents immediately started yelling at me, saying I didn't understand how complicated it would make future family gatherings and holiday celebrations. That step-cousin's dating was weird and would ruin everything for everyone involved in both families. They said they were protecting both kids from making a life-changing mistake that would destroy 2 families permanently. My uncle's face went completely dead. His voice dropped to barely a whisper as he asked my parents if they really made his innocent daughter think she wasn't good enough for anyone, just to avoid potentially awkward family dinners in the future. My dad said they were protecting both kids from making a relationship mistake they'd regret later in life. My uncle stood up slowly, grabbed his coat, and said the only mistake was thinking my parents actually cared about anyone's happiness, but their own selfish comfort and convenience. He walked out immediately, drove straight to Camilla's college dorm, picked her up, and told my brother he was welcome at their house anytime he wanted to visit or stay permanently. We haven't heard from either of them since that night 3 months ago, and honestly, I don't blame them for cutting us off completely. My brother has been absolutely miserable ever since, constantly checking his phone hoping for any message from Camilla or my uncle. He's barely eating, failing his college classes, and spending most days staring at old photos of him and Camilla together. He's told me multiple times that choosing his housing over the love of his life was the biggest mistake he's ever made in his entire existence. My parents keep trying to justify their actions by saying they were protecting the family dynamic and that blood relationships are more important than teenage romance. But watching my brother's emotional breakdown and seeing how they destroyed an innocent girl's self-worth has made me realize how selfish and manipulative they really are deep down inside. The worst part is that my uncle always said he'd never seen his daughter happier than when she was with my brother, and now she's probably going through expensive therapy trying to understand why she wasn't worthy of a proper explanation or closure. After months of silence, my brother finally reached out, and my uncle welcomed him with open arms. He moved in with them, and for the first time in a long while, he isn't drowning in guilt and heartbreak. Living under the same roof as Camilla has given them the chance to rebuild what was taken from them. They're slowly finding happiness again, supporting each other every day, and it's clear they were never the mistake my parents tried to make them believe. My parents are furious, but they no longer can do anything about it.